All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm going to do the normal GTII and ENZC, but I'm also going to throw in KSCP here, all right? If I've got time, I might try to throw in a fourth one, FNGR, but I'll just see what timing looks like, all right? Look, GTII, I will be honest, I did not think the 100 rejection was going to be this devastating, all right? Generally speaking, if you do get rejected, you're hoping that first moving average will catch you. You're hoping that second moving average will catch you. We are now sitting, actually, if you look at it, under the third one, right? I know it's barely under it, but that orange line's up here and we closed down there, right? So just a little more devastating than I was really expecting, but tomorrow's going to be really important, all right? And we'll definitely talk about that, okay? ENZC, look, it's been a couple weeks of the exact same comment, and unfortunately I am right, okay? It's simply going horizontal. There's not a lot of stuff to say there. I know people keep trying to, pump the news here and there. If you're watching my videos, I'm not here to pump anything, right? I'm also not here to try to spread fear, obviously, but yeah, I'm not going to give any false hope or false emphasis on stuff that I don't believe is going to be it, right? So unfortunately the ENZC stuff's a little on the boring side, and if you've been watching the last couple updates, really there's not much. We're still going horizontal till we break the lines we've been talking about, right? And then KSCP night scope, all right, that thing has been crushing it, and it's now at a place where it seems like it held the 200 moving average and it might keep going. So I think it's a really cool thing that just Sharded just threw on the comments that it's worth a look, because I'll be honest, I was not looking until I saw his comment, all right? So excited to talk about those, and then again, if I can talk about Finger at the end, I actually don't know what it looks like, so that'll be a super fresh review if I do it. So but before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this thing on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, I know there's a lot of passion here, and I am not here to spread fear. I am not here to tell you what to do with your money. And really, if you disagree with me, please throw it in the comments, all right? When educated people share thoughts and opinions, someone gets better, someone stays sharp. You know what I mean? So I very much could be wrong, believe me. So but yeah, all that said, let's get into it. And hey, on a kind of personal note, dude, I miss a lot of the GTII commenters, all right? I really do. I hope everyone's doing well. Believe me, I sincerely do hope you believe that. But yeah, I miss a lot of you guys. I haven't heard from a few of you, actually. You know who you are, too. I'm not going to call out names, but yeah. Okay, let's get into it. And again, I talked about it in the beginning, all right? This is a common thing, all right? When the spacings between the moving averages are good, man, it's a beautiful climb up. The problem is when the spacings are now bad as we're running down, it's a scary thing, because again, you can see as quickly as we filled it up, we actually filled it down just as fast, right? So there's good and bads with that. I said in the beginning, though, I'm surprised the first moving average didn't catch it. I'm surprised the second moving average didn't catch it. I'm surprised we are sitting under the third one right now. And end of the day, this single line really doesn't matter too much. Sorry, the single candle doesn't matter too much. It's what tomorrow does. All right. And really, these two are pretty close to each other, the 50 and the 20, right? Like this one's at 98 and some stuff. This one's at 93 and some stuff. It roughly speaking, it's a nickel away, right? So to me, this was a tight enough two-line cluster that, again, that should have been even harder to lose. So I am hoping that this thing is actually going to curve back up tomorrow, this thing being the RSI. I'm hoping that a good day tomorrow will keep the MACD in the positive, and even though it's been going up, it could come back up. And then really, we need some volume. Volume's been going down, let alone been more red than green, right? Like we want this. We want some more greens over red, and more than anything, we want a good few green candles over this white 50 average line, right? But man, the story here simply is the rejection of the 100 and the inability to catch the fall. All right, and I'm curious to see if this is a bigger thing on the weekly or not. So maybe I don't know how I feel about this. Again, remember, we're still a little early in the week, right? But we're, if you've been watching my videos, especially around like this, like late May, early June, my fear of the 200 line on the weekly was a very real thing. All right, if you lose the 200 and fall down, that's such a scary thing that could happen. What is a really good and positive thing is if you actually hit the 200 and bounce up. All right. I don't like that what seemed like, okay, we're about to take it and run, is starting to become a, oh man, are we about to lose this 200 again? So I'm watching this again. It's still a little early in the week, but yeah, you don't want to lose the 200 on the weekly. You remember how scared I was. You actually remember how like kind of surprised I was that this thing came up as well the way it did, right? So let's see what happens with the 200. I don't know if we're just going to oscillate this line for a couple weeks. That would kind of be a bad thing in my opinion, right? Because I like fast movement up. That's a good thing. But yeah, interesting. Look, still over the 8. It's under the 200, but definitely still some days left in the week. Let's get this thing back over the dollar. I think that's what's really, really important. And really, again, get us back over the dollar means get us back over the 8 moving average. So it would be important on both the daily and the weekly, actually. But man, I think it's going to start with tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow holds the 20 and actually can maybe even take us over the 50. That'd be really cool if we can actually close over this 98. That would make it a lot more realistic to believe we'll come over that dollar for the weekly, maybe even that $1.10 for the daily chart. So yeah, again, I wish it did a little better. I clearly wish it broke the 100, because if it broke the 100 again, that would have been a fantastic gap to almost $2, right? So excuse me, again, the goal really is let's retest this as soon as we can, right? So GTII. All right, ENZC, listen, it's been a few weeks of the exact same thing, and it's another video with the exact same comment. We will continue to move horizontal. The one kind of thing I got to say is now I'm starting to get a little worried, all right? And again, I'm hoping it's nothing more than just the movement of the lines, but this 20 moving average is starting to curve down. This 8 moving average is starting to curve down, and then all the way up here, this 50 is starting to curve down. That scares me, okay? Because again, this was a horizontal cluster of moving averages. I don't know if the horizontal is starting to break down. Okay, again, clearly we want it to break up. What do we want this thing to do? We want it to do what Palantir did, right? Super tight, super tight, super tight, super tight, super tight, go, right? We do not want what HUSA did. Super tight, super tight, super tight, super tight, super tight, super tight, lose, okay? And again, you can see the 8 and the 20 start coming down, 8 and the 20 start coming down. I don't know if 8 and the 20 are starting to come down or if it's just the movement of the lines, okay? Again, no good will happen here until we break the 200, excuse me, that purple line. Let me show the numbers. Again, I'm trying to do this a little better on this one. I know that because this was the viewer ask, right? But you can see the 200 line is 0.050, all right? You can kind of round it to 0.051. If this breaks, the goal would be a ride up to 0.55. Again, I know no one wants to talk about pennies on this stock, but that's a 10% swing right there, okay? I have said it on the last few videos, I'm going to say it again. It's going to be really hard to get over this blue line, let alone the red one right above it. I would not touch this stock until it got over the red line. In all honesty, I would enter at 0.6. I would skip all the noise between 0.47, right? That's where we sit right now. We're actually at 0.468, right? Based on this thing. I would skip all of this noise. I do not need this penny. I would enter right here, right? And let me just draw the line just to have it, okay? So if I was to enter right here, green, 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 red, 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 hopefully would bring a green, 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 maybe up to here, maybe a little bit higher, right? But for me, it's just well worth avoiding this until we get over this. Again, I say you can see it here. Get over all the moving averages and fly, right? Like it's a proven thing. And again, it's also a proven thing that this stock knows how to go horizontal for months. It did it one full month and basically 3/4 before it went up, right? And relatively speaking, again, I said it on the last video, we've been living between these two lines for a long time, basically since the middle of October. Really, you can even say since the late August. We've been living here, lose it a little bit, come back, beat a little bit, come back, right? Like these two lines is where it's been. These two lines is where it's at right now. And again, it just keeps me believing we're at least going to go horizontal. And one more time, I don't like these curves down. I zoomed out too much there, right? But I don't like that they're curving down. So just something to watch. Hopefully the next time I make the video, they're at least curved back. I'll be real honest with you though. Next time I make the video, I feel like it's probably going to be right here at best. 5 cents. Like, I don't think we're breaking this purple line anytime soon. I just don't. Again, nothing spectacular on the MACD, nothing spectacular on the RSI. Volume is definitely not looking good, and you can start to see it. The white line is starting to come down a bit. The 50-day volume average is going down. All right, that's not a good thing. You need, like, this interest right here help the volume get as high as this, right? The average 50 right here was 14.7 million. We're now, what is this? 14.2. Okay, it's not down as drastic as I thought it was, but you know what? It kind of seems like it's just starting to go down. So hey, maybe I was ringing that bell a little early, but again, volume's king to me, so I'm always a little extra cautious of that. Let's look at the weekly again. If the horizontal is happening on the daily, it's going to be on the weekly itself, right? So what's this 50 moving average at? 0.49. Again, that's what I was saying. I don't think it's going to get over 0.5. 0.497, that 50 average right there on the weekly right here, that's going to be a hard line to break, all right? Let's talk KSCP, night scope. All right, look, again, the spacing of the moving averages matters. From the 8 to the from the 50 to the 100, right? Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. It did that here. Break the 50, go to the 100. It did that there. It loses it. It does it again. Break the 50. Sorry, break the 100, go to the 200. Man, it did it in such a good move. Okay, it then goes up. It then comes down. It now looks like it bounced. In all honesty, for me, that's my entry point. 185, maybe a little higher, 186, 187. But break 50% of this candle, and I think we're back in. And again, just look at the stock, right? We're basically sitting right here. Let me draw this line. What's the top of you? It's also the top and the bottom of you. And we broke that today. Nice. That was an important line right there. Really, after that, man, I mean, now we're just, obviously it's going to be that. It's this candle and this candle. I guess we'll raise it to that right there. That's pretty much what we wicked right now. And like I said, 186, excuse me, would be the next leg up. And then, sweet Jesus, this is basically where it wants to come, right? Give or take. So, yeah, I think 240 really is the next leg here if it hits. And in all honesty, like I said, I think 186 would be my entry to see if it does that. But overall, the moving averages, we actually did golden cross today, the 8 and the 20. I just want to see the 8 keep going up, not kind of horizontal it and take away from it, right? But I would say, like, this seemed like it was, but I think the fact that it's still going makes this actually a good golden cross as well. So yeah, there's still stuff to like on Nightscope. And again, it goes up, calms down. Hopefully we continue tomorrow. And really, this is still healthy right there, right? And like, even if I go to this, like, we're still in that relatively healthy volume today. This seems like, I just wish it went a little bit higher and took that 50%, but we wicked it. We were close to it. Our close wasn't that high, far away from it, so, yeah, get over this, and I think I'd like Nightscope to do another run. And again, end of the day, held the 200 like a champ, still holding the 8 like a champ. I would hit eject at 138, because green could be a real hard fall down to maybe 90 cents, if not maybe 103, if not 114, you know. But yeah, I would hit eject at 139, 137, give or take, you know. So again, play your stop losses accordingly, whatever your risk tolerance is. Hey, this is an interesting 50. Okay, obviously still a little bit early in the week, and 162 is an important number. That is pretty much the 50 on the dot, right? So let's hold this. Obviously, let's keep going up. But truth be told, man, even if we hold 138, it's still going to be pretty good, right? Holding 50% is a good thing. But yeah, let's hold it here, and maybe next week will be the better week. Let's at least just hold this 200, right? Make me believe that the 200 is not an enemy, it's kind of a friend. Let's hopefully use the 8 or the 20 as it goes up. And yeah, there's still a lot to like here. There really is, you know what I mean? So yeah, what's the weekly look like? Let's take a look at the weekly. We already did that, so sorry about that. Okay, let me throw in finger. Why not FNGR? Okay, this is not looking good. This obviously made a really good move, right? And kind of the same thing we just saw in Nightscope. Goes over the 200, kind of comes back to it, ends up making that run eventually. And now look, it is what it is, right? The MACD starting to slip. RSI has not been good. We've officially lost the 8. It really seems like we're going to come to the 20. I don't know if we're going to lose the 20 or bounce from it, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not liking this or this. It seems like we're actually going to lose that. So we actually might be coming as low as 345, maybe 390 will catch it. But yeah, overall, I'm not liking finger much, if anything at all. Weekly's not horrible, I guess, but again, RSI is not looking good. Volume's been a little, I mean, let me just kind of zoom in a bit. Actually, volume's been all right, I guess. But yeah, I'm not liking this daily. I think the way the daily ends on Friday, like, I'm actually not even sure we're going to... I hope we hold the 200. That's the best thing I'll say. I don't really know if this was like a pump and dump thing. I'll be real honest with you. I don't know much about the stock. I don't know much about the news. It's made a big pump before and then dropped pretty hard. This was a pretty big pump. It might drop again hard. I don't know what I'm seeing. All I know is we're about to... That lost the 8. That confirmed the 8. I think we're coming to the 20. If we lose the 20, we're going to come down to the 200. So, hey, let me know if you disagree with anything or your thoughts or opinions. Otherwise, thank you.